What is up, you guys? And welcome to the next book in our wonderful journey together. Um, as you can tell, I'm a little under the weather. I caught a cold or something a couple days ago. I tried to take it easy the first day that I felt it coming on, my sore throat and stuff. And usually that works if I take it easy the first day. That it doesn't get that bad, but I woke up this morning feeling really awful. So clearly this did not work. I'm just hoping at least my voice goes back to normal and I stop coughing before I have to record the first chapter of this book, because that would suck. You guys might have to deal with sick voice for this book. And if that's the case, I apologize, but there's not much I can do. If I want to get chapters out on time, I gotta, read them. And was I sick also pretty recently? Yes. Apparently I have a weak immune system, or this weather is messing with me, or something. I don't really know. But, anyway, our next book is going to be Five Nights at Freddy's, The Silver Eyes, by the one and only Scott Cawthon and Kira Breed Wisely? I'll look up how to say it, don't worry. I'll still probably say it wrong. I remember when I read Artemis Fowl, somebody, halfway through reading the book, somebody corrected me on how to say that it was Ian Colfer, not Owen, or whatever I was saying. And I was like, oh my gosh, you're kidding me. You couldn't have corrected me sooner? I feel stupid. But, so I'll look up how to say her last name. Because I do want to give her credit. But, #1 New York Times bestseller, fun fact. I'm super excited to read this book because FNAF has been part of my childhood. Was part of a huge part of my childhood. I love watching Markiplier, MatPat. I'm super excited about the new movie coming out, which is part of the reason why I decided to read this book. I own all 3 books, and with the new movie coming out, I figure this is a really, really good time to read this book, because when I read the Artemis Fowl book, the Artemis Fowl movie had just come out, and it got a lot of traction, a lot of views. It's super popular. So I figured this would be a good time to read this book, and I've been wanting to for a little while. But also at the same time, I looked on YouTube, and there are a lot of other audiobooks of the book, a lot of other readings, and there's one that's has it all the way through, not just the chapter. I don't know. So I feel there's not high demand for this book, unfortunately. But I still want to do it, hopefully you loyal viewers will enjoy it. And honestly, this is the type, I love, Scott Cawthon has said that this is not canon, but I love, books that somebody who has no clue what the Five Nights at Freddy's games are could pick up this book and just read it as, on its own. And I love that. I love the fact that he did that. It's not tied into any of the games or anything, because it honestly is a really good standalone horror book. I really, really enjoy this book and the other 2. I think this is probably my favorite out of the 3, just because it has, yeah, you have to, put some things together, but the other 2 books just starts getting more convoluted in that FNAF convolutedness, whereas with this first book, it's just a really good standalone horror book. So I could give this to somebody who said they like horror, they like Stephen King or whatever. It's not very Stephen King-esque, but, I don't know, that's the only first horror author that comes to mind. But I can give it to them and be like, hey, read this book. It's really good. I think you would like it. But yeah, so I started reading this semi-recently, and usually when I'm rereading a book semi-recently, I don't want to read it on here because somebody's at my door. Hold up. Anyway, long story short, Five Nights at Freddy's, The Silver Eyes, by the Scott Cawthon, is going to be our next audiobook. And I'm going to read you the back, the little thingy on the back. And then, next week, we will have chapter 1. And I will either sound better than this, or the same as this, depending on when I record it. Alright, so here we go. From the creator of the best-selling horror video game series, Five Nights at Freddy's. 10 years after the horrific murders at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza that ripped their town apart, Charlie, whose father owned the restaurant, and her childhood friends reunite on the anniversary of the tragedy and find themselves at the old pizza place, which had been locked up and abandoned for years. After they discover a way inside, they realize that things are not as they used to be. The 4 adult-sized animatronic mascots that once entertained patrons have changed. They now have a dark secret. ... and a murderous agenda. So yeah. Super excited. Fun fact, the 3 Five Nights at Freddy's books are the first books that I ever bought new instead of used from a used bookstore or the library or whatever. Because I wanted them so bad. And I bought the set of 3 from Books A Million. And this is a very big deal because I can always find books at like thrift stores, used bookstores, or the library. So this was a huge deal because I was like, I don't think I'm gonna find them. And I haven't since. I haven't seen any of these anywhere else, except for Books A Million or like new. So I made the right decision, I guess. So yeah, I hope you guys are looking forward to this book as much as I'm looking forward to reading it. And I'll see you on the flip side. Please subscribe. Also, I'm only at like 403, I think. And if we get to 500 by the end of the year, oop, dropped the microphone. If we get to 500 by the end of the year, face reveal, probably not gonna happen because we're already in June by the time this posts. So y'all have half the year really to get to 500, but we'll see if you can do it. Good luck. I'll do my best creating content on time to help out, but it's up to y'all really. So subscribe, like, be ready for the new book. Dun dun dun. Alright, see you guys on the flip side. Peace.